Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. I hope you all had a lovely, wonderful weekend. We haven't hit the weekend yet, but it's Friday for me, just trying to get ahead on some videos. So as you can see, we're going to work on the little pocket that the journal is going to slip into, the manila file folder, because we did two of them. We spattered two of them with the paint and everything. I have cut this one down, and I will tell you what I have cut it down to. I've only cut the sides, not the top, so that's the normal, regular manila file folder size. I've cut it down to about 9 and almost a quarter. It's a little less than a quarter, but real close to 9 1/4 there. From its original size, which again was just the standard size that you can buy at the dollar store. And I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what size they are. But I mean, you can make these any size you want. All you have to do is whatever size you make your journal, if you make it skinnier, you can make a skinnier pocket. It just has to be able to fit in here reasonably well. And you can see there's this fabric flapping off here. We're going to make like a gusset, because if you try to glue it like this, it would probably work, but it's going to be super duper tight and probably not real functional. Like, you won't want to be slipping the journal in and out of it very much, because it'll probably kind of mess it up. I mean, it can be done if you keep it a little bit fatter or wider. Then you can definitely, like, if you kept pretty much the whole size of the file folder, because I think I only cut off like 2 inches, then you could definitely just glue the sides or sew the sides together. And you can see I sewed on the front, I sewed the fabric. I won't be able to do that on the back, because otherwise I will sew it together. So it's going to be just glued on the back, but I think it'll be fine. I did a nice tight job of sewing top and bottom, back stitched and everything, so that hopefully that will help it stay together. And like I said, if it doesn't get a whole lot fatter than that with a gusset, that's not going to be a problem at all. So that's all you have to do, is just make sure your journal is going to fit in there with a little extra room, because it will need it. So what I want to tell you is, when you put these pieces of fabric on, and I will measure these, this side is a little bit longer, because this point of the manila file folder comes up here higher than this point did. So you can see the points there. So I just made it a little longer, but it's about 1.5 inches wide. This one over here is 8 1/8. This one's 7 and 5/8 by 1.5 inches. So yeah, I mean, I think 1.5 inches is definitely plenty over here. And when you attach this side, you don't want to pull it tight, because that's going to give you the exact same problem. You're not going to have any gusset in there. So you want to kind of just fold it over a little bit loosely, like, I put onto this about 1/4 inch of fabric. So I'll do about the same here. And obviously it doesn't have to be like that precise. You don't have to measure and be crazy about it. You just kind of eyeball it, but you just need about 1/4 inch roughly. So yeah, like I said, hope you're all doing good. We're doing good. It's hotter than a bugger here today, but of course this weekend, for the wedding we're going to, it's going to rain, and I feel so bad for them. Or, I mean, I don't know if it'll rain while we're there. It may not, and hopefully that is the case. But it's so hard planning weddings at this time of the year here. My niece had the same problem last year. We did end up in the rain a little bit, but yeah, it's just super tricky in June, and into May and June, early June. So hopefully we'll get through the wedding and then it can rain. But yeah, I don't know. I do feel for them though, because my niece went through the same thing last year, and it's just hard. It stresses them out, and I mean, it's not a big deal. We can get rained on, we'll survive. But okay, so I did put quite a bit of glue on there, and I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So if you keep that gusset, then the journal shouldn't pull on it a whole lot, because it's, obviously it's going to have a little a little wiggle room, so it should be just fine. That's the only tricky part. I mean, these are all handmade, and sometimes you can't sew because you're going to sew it shut, so that's just kind of the way it is. But you can see it's got its little, but now it's got a little more room in there, so when I'm slipping my journal in and out, it should be just fine. So I'm going to let that dry. I'm not going to put the journal into it yet. What is that?
Zipper earbud.
Oh, he's cleaning out his closet. And he's finding all kinds of stuff from when he was a kid, because he's just it's sort of a time capsule at this point. But yeah, so he's been having fun today showing me all the crazy stuff that he still has in there.
These don't work and they sounded terrible.
Yeah, well, they were probably cheap.
They were
He found zipper earbuds. The little cord that goes to the little earbud in your ear is like a zipper. Totally goofy. I don't even remember when we got those. That's hilarious. So I just have white acrylic paint, maybe if I can get it out of here. And this one is Apple Barrel Laguna. It was, you know, kind of close to that color, so that's why I chose it. And I have a piece of corrugated cardboard here. Sorry, I'm slacking on my telling you guys what's going on. My son's distracting me. This piece of cardboard is about, because you can see it's ripped oddly around the sides, but it's roughly 6 3/4 by 6 to go on the front of that. You can make it any size you want, any shape you want, any of that. I'm going to set this aside because we're just going to work on this right now. Need a piece of paper. But yeah, so that's what he's been doing all day. I think he's been playing more than, you know, how you do when you go through your stuff once you are moving out of your parents' house and all that. I mean, he'll be back in the summers and breaks and that, but it's time to get rid of some of the randomness that's in his closet. Probably should have done it years ago, but I've always been the kind of person that's like, I mean, we go through stuff randomly, but I kind of let them keep what they want to keep when they want to keep it. I don't try to get them to get rid of stuff that they don't want to get rid of, because it's their stuff after all. Whoa. But that's just my take on it. And of course it depends on your room. He's had, you know, room in there, so it hasn't been a big deal. But if you didn't have room, you'd of course have to get rid of some stuff. I'm just adding a little bit of the blue here and there. I want kind of most of the cardboard covered. I know that it's like, why use corrugated cardboard then? But it's more the texture of it that I like, so I think that'll probably do it. I'm gonna pause, get this dry, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it dry. It's all ready to go, and I have some bits and pieces. I have this doily. It's one that I just put some Tim Holtz ink on. That's all. I didn't do anything fancy. I put Tim Holtz ink on. Actually, I put it onto a piece of plastic, spritzed it with water, and, you know, dipped it in there. And that's all. I didn't do any fancy other dyes or anything. And I used the Dusty Concord, the Mermaid Lagoon, and the Spun Sugar. That's what I've been pretty much using for the whole journal. So I'm just gonna go around this a little with some purple, the Dusty Concord. I really like this color. It's really kind of cool. I need that Villainous Potion. That one looks pretty cool. I would like a darker one. I'll do a few of these in a little purple. Okay, and maybe we will put a little of this pink, what is this stuff called? Oh my gosh, embossing powder. Woo! And I just use my glue stick. I know there's a million things that you can use. I have people tell me all the time, I don't have one of those stamp pads that you use to emboss anymore. So I just kind of use what I have, and the glue works fine because it sticks to it long enough for me to do the heat gun on it. So that's all that matters, right? And I don't have any issues, so why not do it that way? I guess I can just, it's gonna take me all day at that rate, right? Sorry, everybody's mowing because it's warm today, so gotta do it while it's warm because it's gonna get cold again. I mean, not super cold, but in the 50s and 60s again, and rain. So that's what we had all last weekend too. Okay. And I'll have to pause again to go eat that because I don't have a plug over here. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And I really kind of like that. I'm going to pull my light over here a little bit closer. The pink embossing powder when I do it with the glue stick anyway, because it kind of reminds me of like old paint, you know, on old boards or whatever. Peely, and I don't know. I just think it's kind of fun. So I like that. So I'm going to put this on here, and then I have one of my flowers, but I also have some purple lavender tulle that I thought I'd put on there. And that will raise that up a tiny bit. And then I have these paper flowers that I got from Karen. Yes, Karen gave me those. And so I just have squished them a little bit because I like the way that looks. Can't decide if I want this one. I haven't decided where I want them. I might kind of do this sort of a thing. And I might pop that up a little bit more. I'm going to grab my foam stuff just a second. I just knocked down all my bubble wrap, but anyway, that I used to do the jelly plate. I keep bubble wrap stacked up. Okay, so this roll of foam, I've showed you this before, my father-in-law saved from work for me. Because I guess they're going to throw it out. He works for, well, he did. He's retired now, but he worked for the airlines and as a mechanic, and they use this sticky-backed foam for stuff, but I guess it expires or whatever for the airplane, you know, because obviously it's important. You want things on the airplane to be the right age or whatever for the stickiness and all that. So anyways, they were going to throw it out, so he grabbed a roll for me because he figured I could use it for something, and yes, I can. So it's very nice. So I'm just going to put some of this down. It'll dry clear, plus most of it's going to be under anyway, but kind of gives me a little pop-up or another something to look at, right? Okay, let's see. We could also add just a tiny bit of eyelash. I know I've been putting eyelash on everything, but for some reason I just feel like it goes with this. I don't know. I think I like this blue. So I'm just going to cut some out of here. He's just playing in there. I don't know if you can hear it. He's got some video game or something he's found. It's kind of hilarious. Because, you know, they are too cool for school sometimes. You know, when they're grown up, and then all of a sudden they turn into little kids again when they find things. I don't know how I want that under there. Well, let's see if we can get a little of this on our flower first. Yeah, it's getting icky out there. It's getting windy now. This is a little tricky to cut. So I would prefer to have some lovely weather, but I know it's that time of the year. It's either hot or miserable. Or both. just going to kind of put some of these in here. This is what I used when I did at Christmas time, the book covers, and did some artwork collage type things on them. Sorry, I just hit the light bulbs. It just works great because it just gives you some pretty good dimension. And since this is going to be the front of the the pocket, that'll work great. And I'm just adding glue just because I don't know how well this glue will stick, or the sticky on the back of that. Especially if it's a little bit older. It's kind of tough to cut because those scissors will generally chop through anything real easy. Okay, that should be good for what we got going on here. I think basically what's going to happen is I'm just going to kind of do something like this. Might put just a touch of glue right here. Got those pieces all sticky. And then when I put down the glue with the flour and all that, it should stick just fine. And this, I'm going to put quite a bit of glue. Oh, you know what? I never glued this down, did I? Ay. And this is just a vintage crochet doily. I need a paper towel. Don't really want big globs in there. I mean, it will dry clear, but I still like to kind of get excess out. Just gives you a nicer finished product. Always tricky gluing all this stuff down. Okay, so now I need to figure out where exactly I want this. This will be kind of like that, so maybe like right up here. Okay, and then this one, kind of wanted that one up a little bit. So I might put it on foam. And I'll probably have to put her on foam as well since I started this foam thing. And this, I have printed her on a lightweight cardstock, like 65-pound paper. And then I've added a piece of that really thick, and I don't know what the weight is of this anymore because I don't have the packaging. It's just a craft cardstock, but it's a hefty one. So, and then, cut her out. So she's pretty stable on there. And this journal is sold, so sorry, I keep forgetting to say that when I'm doing videos. I don't know what he's playing with. That's so funny. A lot of times what I do, because I obviously don't want to be able to see this, I go and trim it real close to the edges so that it's not sticking out anywhere. This one's probably fine because it's far enough behind, but when it's close to the edge, I like to do that. Okay, and I'll just put a little something on the back of that just to give it a little pop up. There's the air conditioner. That's how warm it is. Our heating and air and everything is going up in August. It's like our property tax is going up. It's just a mess here now. It used to be great. And we've always had high property tax just because of where we live. They try to offset the farms a little bit so they don't, have to pay such exorbitant property tax, which I get that and I don't mind that. But now it's just going up because the price of everything's gone up so much here because of demand. I mean, the price of these houses is insane. It's like, everybody's like, oh, you should sell your house. You'll make a lot of money. It's like, yeah, and then what? Can't afford anything else. Even with that, it's ridiculous. Okay. And then she can go right there. That's going to be cute. So I'm going to just put glue right on these. That's what I have done in the past. And I know it's a lot, but it'll dry and hopefully it will hold it real well for a long time. Kind of want that leaf to go out that way. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't move here if I didn't have family here. Just got nuts. So this is going to be a little bit fragile. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. And I'm going to kind of just go on this, with a little bit of this purple. Do these just a little crunchy, crunchy munchy too. Okay. All right, I think that is good. I like it a lot. I'm gonna take just a little bit of walnut and go on the edges of the yellow. Yellow flower, and I just realized this needs a little more glue right here. The collage paper is coming off. We don't want that. This one's good. Okay. All ready to go. And I would add something behind them, but I don't know what, so I think they're just going to have to be carefully dealt with. They're fragile. Okay. they're not super bad because, like I said, I did put it on pretty thick cardstock, and that will go on there. I might just tip it a little, so that would be kind of cute, huh? Yep. So just gonna get a lot of glue. a lot of glue. We have some friends here that are like, if you guys move, tell us because we're gonna move. It's like, yeah, I don't. The kids are here and I think they're gonna stay here, so probably not gonna happen. Even though it's real tempting. And if we did move, we wouldn't move far, maybe to just one of the, you know, smaller areas. This used to be that. Not anymore. It's crazy. Okay, now I think it's just going to be a matter of letting it all dry. I definitely like it with the eyelash. I think that turned out kind of cool. And then we'll see just for a little peek. And this isn't even done on the inside yet. I need to do a couple big journaling card type things. Yeah, see, that slips in really nice with those big gussets. It's not going to be a problem at all. And I did put a little bit of paper. I'll show you because you'll be able to see the gusset is big enough. Probably should have gone further down, but see along here where the color ended, because I just spritzed and sprayed all over when the file folder was closed. If I had opened it up, which probably would have been smart, then it would have been covered, but I just added some pieces of paper right in there. You can see where it ends. I might add another, like one more piece in there. So, I mean, I think it's fine. It's a manila file folder, so kind of one of those things, right? All right, so that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I maybe gave you an idea or something. I'm going to put just a little bit of purple on this wood. I don't know if that's going to do anything, but just to make it not quite so brown, maybe. What could I put on that one? I don't know if I want purple. I guess just a little is not bad. All right. So there she is. Definitely dimensional and fun. I mean, there's loads of things you can do with these manila file folders. You can make them very ornate with lots of lace and all kinds of things. And I have done a few of those in the past. If you check some of my older videos, I have some videos of some really fancy manila file folders, but for this one I didn't want to use a lot of lace and stuff, so this is perfect. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will chat again soon. Love you guys. Bye.